So the good people over at Weiser Books have sent us over another deck to review. This was a gift from them for the purposes of doing an honest review. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. This is the Radiant Tarot. We're going to take a look at each and every card. We're going to take a look at the guidebook. We're going to see how they perform. We're going to get all up into this deck. Okay? Let me warn you, it's an unusual deck. It's, just from the cards I've seen, I'm like, this is an unusual deck. So it is very interesting. My name is QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to anybody and everybody who might like it as well. Please give us a positive comment in the comment section. And if you have time, please check out underneath this video. I have all my information in case you want to get a reading done or you have a question for Ask an Aquarius. And at the very top underneath this video, I will put the link where you can buy this from Weiser Books directly. Okay, so let's get started. Well, first of all, there's a big box. Pathway to Creativity. The Radiant Tarot is the top part, and it is the Pathway to Creativity. And here are the creators. There's a picture on the bottom part. There's a picture of the sun on the back. So that's it. It's just pictures around it, nothing written on it. And then we open it up. It's very large, so I'm going to try not to bump anything. There. Nature is imagination itself. That's what's on the inside of the box. And you saw our guidebook. Nice big guidebook. Alright, so before we get into the cards, I'm going to move this over and show you the guidebook. So it's not playing. It's not playing at all. This is what's on the back of it. It's the Three of Swords. As you can see, it is full color illustrations. We have a description. We have a meaning. We have some more information. We have astrological and elements in the corner. And it's about 2 pages. It's not a little baby amount of information. It's a decent amount. This is a very well thought out book. Let's see. I'm looking in the beginning to see if there are any spreads. There aren't any spreads in the beginning, but it is information, more information about the deck. And in the back, there's information about the author and the artist. So Tony is the author and Alexandra was the artist. Okay. And I don't see I don't see a reversal. So if you do read the reverse, I don't see it in here. Let me see. Yeah, I don't see it illustrated here. So if you read the reverse, you are going to need a reversals book. All right, now we're going to go back to our big box. And like I said, you just open it just like that. You tip it over. It has a thingy in the side, so we can just pull it out without too much. All right, good, good, good. Here is the inside of that part. So that's good. The good thing about boxes like these is I will clearly not destroy them. Because my tuck boxes, oh my goodness, I cannot keep a tuck box to save my life. Alright, now I'm going to pull this as close to you as I can so you guys can really see these images. And we're going to start with our Fool. Here's our Fool. Now, before we get into the deck, the first thing I want to do is see what the size of these are. I have a standard size tarot deck right here. And this deck is a little wider and a little taller than a standard size tarot deck, but not by much. So these shouldn't be too bad as far as shuffling is concerned. The thickness, okay, it's not too thick, but it's not too thin. It's right. It's that sweet spot that most collectors like. whereas it can be shuffled, but it's, it's not too stiff. This is the back of every card. That sun, that's on the back of the box. And let's get into our Fool. Our Fool looks like a little girl this time. I love the art style, I'll tell you that. Let's take a look. Let's get into this. This is cute. Okay. All right, so at the bottom of these, you can see that there is a number and there's also the name. They do not use the Roman numeral like some of the others. Let's do that so you can see. Good. Let's back our priestess up just a bit. There we go. Get that glare off. So there is a little glare. They're not super glossy. It's just a little glare. And if you notice, like I said before, they don't use the Roman numerals. They use the regular numerals. But as you look at these images, some of them look human. Like she looks human to me, and then some of them look half human, half animal, which reminds me very much of ancient Kemet. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw it. So it's like this honoring of animals, which I'm totally down for earth honoring. But then you see like this one, the Hierophant. The Hierophant looks like half man, half bird. This is the picture that's on the front of the box. So I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm getting Kemet from that vibration. They did that all the time. And what they said was that the person embodied the energy and the characteristics of that animal. So that's what I'm getting from this. And then some of them are just straight up animals. I love this. I love the lovers. The swans. I've seen the swans as lovers before, and I think it's a beautiful choice. But as you can see, he's like half lion. I love how he's riding an elephant. Ganesha is one of my favorite spirits from the Hindu mythology. And he's a god, and he is one of my favorites. And every time I see an elephant adorned, I think of Ganesha. But yeah, as you can see, like they're half animals, some of them, and then some of them are humans. I would like to see some people of color. Some of the humans, I would love to have seen them of color, actually. Or I would have liked to seen them all be animals. Either one of those choices for me. Like, for me, this deck is, I would say this deck is an 8 out of 10. And it would have been a 10 out of 10 if they had made that one different choice. Either throw in a few people of color or take out all the humans and just use all the animal hybrids. I like that. I actually like that idea better. I love the dice here. I love that concept with the Wheel of Fortune, the gambling. Love it. Wow, Justice. I like that mirror. I like the way it's depicted, the gold mirror. It's beautiful. Because it just doesn't go. You see these people, and I don't know, maybe the book will tell us why it's that way. Maybe there's a reason for it. But I'm just seeing these people, then I'm seeing these half people, And I'm cool with the half people. The half people are really my favorites. I love that. Nice. I like the ones without people and the ones with half people the most. Though in this particular deck, that's what I'm really drawn to here. I like this. This is really cool. So there's no person here at all. Just the accessories. I like that. And it's getting poured into what looks like reminds me of a cauldron. Usually the temperance is getting poured one cup into the other cup. So in this one, they're pouring both things into something larger. The devil. Typical, I've seen devils like this before. Except for usually they have people in bondage. Are those people behind them in bondage? I don't know what that is going on. Look at that. Behind his head. I'm not sure what that is. I was thinking maybe it was people, but I don't think it is. Good vibration for the tower. This is what I just said all to. Isn't that cute? That is so cute. I love it. I love that. So if you're somebody who has a problem with reading cards with animals, you're gonna struggle with this deck, because even though there are some people sprinkled in it, it's seriously mostly animals. And I like that. I like decks with, I like decks that have just animals, or, non-human creatures. I have an alien deck coming. I like that. I like that, that kind of a change. I love her butterfly wings. And you see a lot of these rabbits. That rabbit there seems to be very prominent. I like the rabbit. The world. Which I think this might be a mandala, I think they call it. And I think they use them for like some type of spiritual purposes. I think different ones have different vibrations based on the colors and the geometric shape. I don't know a lot about them though. So if you know anything about them, please let us know in the comment section. Everything you know about the mandala and what it's used for. Now, this is interesting, right? We're at the court cards, and the court cards are kind of pippish. But it's not the kind of pippishness that disappoints me. I'm going to tell you that. Because in these cards, they're similar. Like, look at this. They are similar. When they're similar like this, we call that pippish. But the thing I don't mind about this is that even though they are similar, they clearly have made a effort for them to be different. They're similar but not exactly the same. This one has a flower, this one has different flowers. What I don't like is when a creator, and I've seen this with people have heard me complain about this 1,000 times. It was the Star Trek Next Generation Tarot. And you've heard me complain about it because I was so disappointed. I love that show. That is one of my favorite shows. I swear I'm Counselor Troy. When I'm doing a reading, I swear I'm Counselor Troy. I love her energy. I loved Worf. I loved Will Riker. I loved Picard. I loved Data. I love the whole crew. And for them to take that awesome show, to have the rights, the exclusive rights to that awesome show, and then do the worst job possible with the tarot. The major arcana was cool, but like I said, the pips, the minor arcana, were all exactly the same. So they didn't do what this artist took the time to do, which was to give us some difference. They had no difference at all, and it was so disappointing. So disappointing. But I am glad that this deck did it right. That's how you do pips right. Oh, so the Page of Cups is standing in front of the two swans, and the two swans were in the Lover's card. And the Page of Cups is known for being lover. Puppy love usually, but still, loving energy, affection that could often turn into something. So that was a cute choice to put him in front of the swans. I like that a lot. I like this cup too. This is a really pretty, decorated. I love that all the cups are decorated so pretty. Awesome. When we finish looking at this, I'm going to pull one card that I really like, and we are going to look at it in the guidebook. So again, here we go. Here we're going into the minors for the Ace of Wands. And again, you can see it's just the stick. But in the background, they've made choices. Like for instance, right here we have a boat and some water. Before we didn't have that. We just had the sky. So they did, right here we don't have the boat anymore, but now we have some flowers ordaining our wands. I was going to call them the sticks. Like our sticks, our wands. So we have flowers that are ordaining them now. So I like that. That's how you do pips right. So anybody who's thinking about doing a deck that is pippish, this is how you do it right. Give us something interesting to look at, even if it's very similar. You can use symbols, you can use flowers. There's so many easy ways that you can, use to decorate the minors and not have to put a whole lot of illustration to it. Because this isn't really a whole lot. It's just a flower here and there. But it looks good. It looks really good. And I won't get bored looking at it. The ones that are really, pip decks, not pip-ish, but pip decks straight up, I get bored looking at that same image over and over again. And if you think about it, the minor arcana is like the majority of the deck. The first 22 cards are the major arcana, and then there are 4 court cards in each suit. That means the majority of the cards are going to be minors. So the majority of the cards is going to be repeats of you looking at the same thing over and over and over again. So when you give me something like this deck does, it's like, okay, I can use these. That's cool. I love how the wands, the Queen of Wands always has a cat and she has a lion. And I don't know about that. I know people, like I've seen TV shows and things like that with people who had a big cat for, you know, a pet. I'm like, you tripping. That big cat get hungry, you're on the menu, baby. Awesome. And see, here we go again. And then also, I like how in the background, you know what the suit is, because in this background you see the clouds and swords are air. In the wands you saw the sky, which looked like the sun kind of, so kind of gave me the connotation of fire, and the wands are often depicted as fire. So you can tell from the background, even if you don't remember, or let's say you couldn't read, you know, English. Let's say you were, you know, you were somebody who was from a different country or something like that, and you saw this card. From the background, that tells you this is a sword. And there's a sword picture in it too, but to have the sword in it and the element on top of it. You often do see like birds and they have butterflies. I love that. And if you notice, every suit, the animals and the things that are in the suit go along with the element too. And you see these birds a lot throughout this suit. But again, they're doing different things. They're standing around. Sometimes they're chilling with their butterfly friend. Sometimes they're not. Like in this case, usually with the 9 of Swords, you're depressed. You probably wouldn't be chilling with somebody anyway. Then a 10, he's already knocked down, poor thing. And then of course, they're using the humanoid for the knight and the page. Interestingly, it seems like most of the ones that are human are women. So that's interesting. I like his outfit. The outfit was a great choice. Okay. And then the beautiful flowers at the bottom. That's nice. So now we have our pentacles, and the pentacles is earth, so they're using green to represent flourishing and the green of the earth. So again, using the color and the pentacle itself. That is a beautiful tree representation. And you keep seeing different types of these images. So it gives you a lot to look at. Like what do those images mean? I want to know. I'm like, ooh, what is that? You know, I know what the tree is. I know what the pinnacles are. But some of these other images, I'm like, so what does this stand for? So it gives you a lot to look at too. If you wanted to like take your time and study this deck, that would be really interesting to see like why they made certain choices. Like 8 of Pentacles, there's a bee here. And bees are known for being hard workers. And the 8 of Pentacles is about a very dedicated and skilled craftsman. So I'm like, okay, so is that what you're, trying to tell us? I think so. And if not, I just made that connection. I love the deer. Look at the little deer family. With the flowers. That's pretty. And of course, our page is also a deer person. So it looks like the pages and the knights are the hybrid. I'm gonna say hybrid beings. Let's call them hybrid beings. And the women are women, and the kings are these hybrid beings too. Interestingly enough, right? Very interesting. So now let's pick one of our favorites. Let's see. This one was, I love this card. If you do the star right, I'm automatically going to want to look at your deck. So let's look at the star. All right, so they are in, they're in order. They're in numeric order. And we're going to find the star. Card number 17. Here's the star. The star. Inspiration. After dark times, you will find healing, hope, and a shining mind. Description. Colored bubbles rise from a white bathtub in which a crane stands still, erect and luminous. A shower curled like a bird's neck is drawing water from the river below. The river's flow bisects a lush field of emerald grass. An urn tips over and pours water into the stream. Above, the sky is filled with stars shimmering with hope and happiness, their halos glowing like blue mandalas. There's that word again, mandala. One great white star illuminates the scene as the bubbles dance in the air. Meaning, hope, healing, inspiration, pessimism. So pessimism would be the reverse, actually. When you look at the upright of the star in the reverse, pessimism comes up for the reverse. And then on the side here, I'm going to show this to you. On the side here, you have these images there. That's the Aquarius. And there's two other images there as well. And let me look back and see if they tell us how to read those images. Because usually they give you some type of something. Some type of table of contents or something. And I don't see that here. So I would have to look those images up. I recognize the Aquarius, obviously, because I'm Aquarius. But I would have to look up the other ones. One of them is an element and one of them is a planet. But I have to look up which ones. After the catastrophe and breakdown of the tower, the star lights up the sky as a card of blessings. It is the creative flow of life water, trust, and renewed hope for one who has survived hardship. And like new skin over a wound, it represents the healing of forgiveness and the renewal of transformation. That reminds me so much of my life. That is really beautiful. A card of vision, enlightenment, and imagination, the star helps ignite creativity and sets the north star of inspiration gleaming in the sky inside your mind. Follow the star to faith and spirit and optimism. The star is ruled by Aquarius and so is as much about water as about light. The card pictures the crane, a water bird, and a symbol of happiness and eternal youth, standing in the healing bath of renewal, from which wishes and dreams fulfill bubble up in the sky. Like the bubbles in the Lover's card, they are beautiful and light and what is that word? They are beautiful and light, but also effervescent and ethereal. The water imagery in the bath and river suggests washing clean, baptism, and rebirth. The star tells you that you are whole and calm and pure, and all you have to do is reach your hand up to the sky to receive its shining gift. In fact, you are a star. Now, instead of following and being controlled by the stars, you are a star on the rise and in a phase of renewal. Shed your generous light on others. Don't turn away from the light of the star, however, or you risk finding yourself spiritually lost and in a place of despair. So this would be the reversal right here. It's just not labeled reversal, but this is the reversal of the star. The star is the apex and nadir of creativity, the dazzle of inspiration, and the murky tangle of creative block. Perhaps your life or career has taken you out of the light and you need to look up. There you are in the sky shining. Musing. In February 1633, astronomer Galileo arrived in Rome to be tried by the Inquisition for heresy. He had dared argue for the theory of heliocentrism, that the earth rotated around the sun. Oh, okay. Well, what we know is true now. Yeah. The Catholic Church considered his radical theory to be sacrilegious against their doctrine that the sun rotated around the earth. Luckily, Galileo was spared from being put to death, but he was put under house arrest for the remainder of his life. His heliocentric book was banned and he was barred from publishing. Famously, upon being forced on pain of death to recant his theory that the earth moved around the sun, he murmured below his breath, "And yet it moves." That's crazy. So they put him on house arrest and he was actually right. During the 4th century since then, Galileo's reputation has only soared because of his persecution in the Inquisition. Einstein called him the father of modern science. But these events do not show how the radical insight of the kind the star celebrates can bring the hammer of convention down upon one's head. Yet, however small we become, the universe continues expanding into the infinite. However stuck in our ways we are, the stars continue to graceful and enigmatic treacheries. We can deny them, and yet they move. Humans have long looked up to the stars and wondered, what are those things? Why are they moving? What patterns do they make? How far away are they? And do other beings live up there? We know more answers than they did in Galileo's time, but still to gaze at the stars is something that taps into the essential mystery of being alive in the universe. And when the world is too dark, we can still turn to the light and gaze up into the sky where the stars of the ancients are wheeling in their great dance. Creative practice. We are stardust. On a clear, preferably moonless night, find a place to watch the stars. It can be a porch, a backyard, in a car with windows rolled down, or even better, a quiet spot on a beach, atop a hill, a field, or near a river. Get comfortable. You may even bring a pillow and blanket. Lie back and gaze into the starlit sky for a long time. Just be there and gaze at the heavens. These are the same stars that Sappho and Moses and Confucius gazed upon. They shone down on Joan of Arc and Nefertiti. And when the ancient stars went supernova, they made the elements that our bodies are made of. All of us are stardust. Tonight, all around the world, people are gazing up at the stars and wondering like you. Where does your mind go when you release it from your body to wander in the sky? If you are with a friend, share your thoughts and feelings. The next day you might want to journal them, and if so, paint, write, draw, or record something that was inspired by this connection with the stars of the ancients. Astrological note. Oh, here's the answer. So the thing I talked about before, they said this is air. That one, air. Aquarius and Uranus. That's what it says here. So now we know the mystery. So for each card, they tell you what that is. You just got to read it all to find out the answers. That's all. Air is the element of thought, the ways the mind communicates ideas in all forms. The sign of the star is Aquarius, the water carrier, a sign of originality, independence, common humanity, and democracy. It is ruled by Uranus, planet of innovation and visionary thinking. So again, each one of these has a lot. I just read 2.5 pages. So each one of these has 2 to 3 pages, 2.5 pages of information for you. So at least you know, if you do have this particular deck, you can learn all of the elements. You can learn the planets. You can learn the astrological signs. You can learn all of that from here. And it talks a lot about the card. It's not just, the keywords or a little description. It describes the picture. It gives you meaning. It gives a lot. I really like the creative practice right here. Everyone has a creative practice and they're all different. So this one is for, what card is this? This is the 3 of Wands. And the creative practice here is about going on an adventure. So I feel like this is a really fun deck, like I said before, for daily pulls, or if you want to take a deck and study it, this is awesome. You can also use this with clients, and I think a beginner could use these too. I think that, like, if you're somebody who knows tarot, like if you're somebody who's a professional, it's going to be easy, and if you're a beginner, it's going to be not as easy, but it's still very doable. So I'm QueenAusetHeru. Thank you for being here, and please come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later, and check out underneath the video for the link to this deck.